My God, I hate drugs.
In other news, it's a recurring cry. Chinese Coast Guard harassing Filipino fishermen, even stealing their catch in the South China Sea. For the first time, the Foreign Affairs Department says China is acting on the matter, vowing to punish its personnel who will violate Filipinos' rights. Our Rex Remito tells us more.
As early as last year, Filipino fisherfolk confirmed to CNN Philippines, Chinese Coast Guards are habitually taking their prize catch. After long hours of arduous journey through the West Philippine Sea, they are going home empty-handed most of the time. They say they have also been harassed and collared every time they get near the islands, claimed by China as its territories. But for the first time, the Foreign Affairs Department claims China will impose harsh sanctions on its violating Coast Guards.
Inassure tayo ng Chinese ambassador that they will apply the law very harshly sa violators. No? May agreement na tayo sa kanila na ang fishermen ay dapat malaya.
Coast Guards of the two countries have also assured to discipline their respective ranks. Cayetano says they still have to investigate before filing a diplomatic protest. He says some Filipino fisherfolk have been voluntarily selling their catch to the Chinese.
You have to find out the facts kasi first, di ba? We're assuring you that we're taking all diplomatic action.
For now, he says they can fish at the traditional fishing grounds undisturbed, despite recent reports say otherwise. Cayetano also slams opposition lawmaker Gary Alejano for spreading what he calls fake news. He pertains to Alejano's claim that President Duterte orders the armed forces to stop patrolling in the West Philippine Sea and that the Philippines has already lost territories in the disputed waters like the Sandy Cay geological feature under Cayetano's watch.
Fake news to na lumalabas sa bibig ng kagalang-galang na congressman at hindi nakakatulong ito. Hindi totoo na we lost any territory. No? Panibasa, mahirap puntahan yung lugar kung ano-ano ang sinasabi ng ilang kritiko kasama si Congressman Alejano na hindi naman totoo.
Cayetano also says Alejano's claims have implications on the country's security because these are classified information. But in a text message to CNN Philippines, Alejano says Sandy Cay has been under China's control since last year, citing Chinese ships are permanently stationed near Sandy Cay. He even challenged Cayetano to go there with him and the media as witnesses. Alejano slams Cayetano for calling him a harbinger of fake news, saying the secretary is the one who has a history of lying before the public. Alejano also says he does not invent stories and that Cayetano should fix his script. Rex Remito, CNN Philippines.
Welcome to the newsroom on CNN Philippines. In the news, the DFA says China has committed to impose sanctions on their Coast Guard who harass Filipino fishermen in the South China Sea. President Donald Trump is upbeat ahead of the historic summit with North Korea's Kim Jong-un. He sees the meeting as a one-time shot at peace. And even after all her achievements, the megastar Sharon Cuneta still has unchecked items in her bucket list, and it involves Asia's songbird Regine Velasquez. Good evening, I'm Maya Rodriguez. Thanks for joining us. We have this developing story. Hundreds of families flee homes due to offensives against ISIS-inspired groups in Maguindanao. The ARMM response team says more than 1,700 families from 5 barangays had to evacuate. 6th Infantry Division Commander Brigadier General Cirilito Sobejana says they conducted air and ground offensives against the Bangsamoro Islamic Freedom Fighters. They were able to destroy their explosives factory in southern Liguasan. The military says they will facilitate the immediate return of displaced families after clearing operations. We now speak to 6th ID Commander Brigadier General Cirilito Sobejana for the latest. General Sobejana, thank you for taking our call.
Yes, Maiga, good afternoon. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu.
General Sobejana, tell us more about these offensives. Ongoing pa po ba?
Yes, ma'am. We launched the air and ground operations early this morning targeting ISIS-inspired group, specifically those who are manufacturing IEDs that you have monitored lately that in place in some areas around central Mindanao.
May deadline po ba kayo as to when these offensives will continue at may mga casualties po ba sa offensives?
We don't set deadlines pa, Mai, but we will do it in a sustained manner. We will not stop until these lawless elements are neutralized, prevent them once again of emplacing IEDs in the different parts of Mindanao. And as a result of the air and ground operations that we launched early this morning, until now, we have accounted for 15 confirmed dead, 8 were wounded, and 2 were captured.
Saan po, anong side po ang mga casualties, ang mga fatalities, sir? All from the BIFF?
Yes, from the BIFF, particularly the group, the ISIS-inspired group under Abu Turaife.
General Sobejana, can you tell us more about this explosives factory? Ano po ba ang mga na-recover dito sa factory na ito at what led to the discovery of this IED factory? Well,
we did a very thorough mission planning with due consideration to the safety of the civilians around and of course of the MILF community because we don't want na mabahiran itong ating peace agreement with the MILF. So, with the reports coming from different sources, we were able to validate the exact location of the main IED factory of the group of Abu Turaife. That's why after that, confirming the information, validating all the information that we received, we immediately launched an air and ground operations, leading to the destruction of the main IED factory, and we recovered on-site some IED that had not exploded because there was a sympathetic detonation actually when the facility was hit by a rocket from our Air Force planes. And we also recovered substantial amount of IED components and some high-powered firearms.
General Sobejana, you said that you will facilitate the immediate return of displaced residents as soon as matapos ang clearing operations. Kamusta na po ang mga evacuees, sir?
You're right. Actually, katatapos nga lang ng meeting namin with the CCCH, ADJAG, and with the IMT or the International Monitoring Team. So we agreed to convince all the IDPs or the internally displaced persons to immediately go back to the respective communities in close coordination with the concerned local government units.
All right, thank you for the update. Brigadier General Cirulito Sobejana, commander of the 6th Infantry Division, he was telling us about the offensives against ISIS-inspired groups in Maguindanao that has led to, forced hundreds of families to flee their homes. As of now, 15 are dead in the offensives as the military conducted air and ground offensives against the Bangsamoro Islamic Freedom Fighters, and that the military was able to destroy their explosives factory in southern Liguasan. Amid this lingering issue, a photo of a Chinese aircraft landing in Davao City is creating buzz online. The government confirmed the landing but clarified it was just for refueling. The military transport plane is an IL-76, supposedly part of China's People's Liberation Army Air Force. Special Assistant to the President Bongo clarifies the request for landing was processed by the government, making sure they follow procedure. AFP spokesperson Edgard Arevalo also says it's legal to let foreign aircraft land in our airports in the same way that planes from the Philippines make technical stops in other countries.